Maybe you've shared detailed observations about your child's needs. You've suggested support strategies in the classroom only to have your input ignored or dismissed. Or perhaps you've offered feedback about reasonable adjustments to help your child thrive, but they're met with comments that made you feel irrational rather than understood. Experiences like these can occur at the end of a school day, in an annual review meeting, and over the telephone, or in a report, leaving you feeling lost in translation, confusion and disconnection from what really matters, which is your child's needs. But here's the truth, a parent's voice carries so much power, not just to be acknowledged, but to drive meaningful change. So in this video, I'll be sharing 8 key reasons why a parent's voice is vital in every SEN interaction. I'll explore why a parent's perspective matters despite the challenges, so that we stay empowered, informed and ready to keep advocating for our children even when our voices feel dismissed or unheard. My name is Brenda and I'm a parent mentor and a fellow parent. I support parents raising children with individual needs and differences to stay empowered whilst they navigate through procedural challenges. And through my work, I've found that it's become, unfortunately, all too common for parents to be left feeling like a passive participant, seen as disempowered, dependent on whatever is offered, and slowly conditioned into a kind of learned helplessness. And I know firsthand as a fellow parent, despite being observant, committed, emotionally attuned to our child's needs and actively working to navigate a process that often feels stacked against us, it can feel like there's no point in continuing to advocate. But on this channel, it's all about changing that, using our voices and creating real change to support our children living with individual needs and differences to succeed in their education. And here are 8 reasons why a parent's voice matters in every SEN interaction. And the first reason is that it prevents delay. When your suggestions are dismissed or ignored, despite emails, calls or formal requests, it can feel like you're stuck in a cycle of back and forth between services with no clear progress. But your continued persistence and input whilst at an annual review meeting or your thread of emails can cut through the noise. Showing up and speaking up tunes passive discussion into action, helping to reduce delays and secure the support that your child needs. The second reason is it identifies blind spots. As a parent, we often notice what others miss. Our day-to-day perspective helps us uncover overlooked needs, gaps in support or misunderstandings, like a detective connecting the dots. Maybe a teacher raises concerns about the child's behaviour, but as a parent, you sense their deeper challenges are being minimised, dismissed. We may also witness power imbalances or gatekeeping rooted in poor transparency or collaboration, and I've spoken about this in this video here. These patterns erode trust, something that we're well placed to recognise where needed. And the third reason is that it exposes process issues. When something isn't right, whether it's in communication, gatekeeping or even unethical practices, our voice will shine a light on what often goes unseen. We might notice a rigid approach to our child's individual needs or a reluctancy to implement agreed upon strategies even when our child's needs are clearly acknowledged. We may recognise when professionals are not being transparent about effectiveness, highlighting reasons for these issues to be challenged moving forward. Another reason is that our voice builds resilience. Perhaps our contributions in the past weren't acted upon, or a lack of continuity led to confusion and frustration. These challenges can definitely be disencouraging. However, speaking up even when it's difficult, highlighting reasons for these issues to be challenged. And over time, it definitely strengthens our ability to advocate with consistency and confidence. And another reason is that it bridges disconnection. On this SEN journey, it's common to interact with different professionals from different departments. One day a health specialist, the next a local authority worker, each with their own focus and priorities. And in moments like these, our preference and perspectives help reconnect the process to its true purpose, our child. And this is where we bring lived experience back into the process that can often feel impersonal. And another reason is that it brings clarity. Our questions and insights help build through the jargon, confusion and vague plans, bringing focus to what really matters, and that's our child's individual needs. And another reason is that it facilitates collaboration. Maybe we're in a clinic assisting our child at their appointments, and then we find ourselves facilitating collaboration, where we speak up and we notice how we then become a natural facilitator, where we're helping professionals to come together to work to have more efficiency around shared goals. The 8th reason for us as parents to be heard is to strengthen communication. Over time, as we attend meetings, we develop clearer and more assertive communication skills that can shift the tone of the meeting and lead to more constructive child-centred outcomes. And these 8 reasons demonstrate by how speaking up it can prevent disempowerment, projected bias, gatekeeping and emotional burnout. Where we may find ourselves feeling completely disempowered, whether we are seeking or searching for information, trying to identify clarity, and find ourselves questioning whether our voice even matters, hopefully these 8 reasons will justify why it does. Our voice as parents carry insight, courage and lived experience that no report or policy can replace. Even when it feels like no one is listening, even when the process feels overwhelming or dismissive, our perspective is essential. Advocating isn't easy. It takes persistence, emotional strength and a deep commitment to our child's well-being. But each time we speak up, we help pave the path, not just for our children, but for others too. What I've learned is that this journey isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about being in that position to ask those hard questions and to continue to stand in our truth, even when the process may make us feel doubtful. And it's important to remember that you are not alone. So if working with a mentor is something that you feel could work for you, why not contact me? The information is in the description box below. Or alternatively, why not take a look at my other videos that focus on reasons to stay empowered. But for now, keep doing what you're doing, stay focused, stay empowered and keep creating progress. Thank you for listening.